time now, and that means it is time for breeding season. Breeding season brings so many things with it. Some things that are fun, some things that are just crazy. So if we are getting a buck to breed goats, or you're getting a ram to breed sheep, you want to look for certain things, even if you're borrowing them, in my opinion. So here are the things that I look for. We're going to talk about the goats today, since they have just, they're in breeding season right now. We just kind of finished up a little bit with that. Animals that are in the heat of everything are not really that fun to work with, so we're going to use animals that are already done with their deed, because they are much more fun to interact with. So the first thing that's most important is to find your breed. What is your breed? Do you care about breed? Does that matter to you at all? Do you want papers? Do you not want papers? That is your first thing you figure out. I like having papers. I like certain breeds, so I am very much invested in breeds. I have alpine goats, and I have gone several hours out of my way to go get them bred and to buy these goats and all of that. So when I got my own buck, I actually took one of my does to be bred. This is his dad.
Hey, buddy.
He's a fantastic buck. I loved interacting with him. I really wanted to buy him. He was way outside my price range budget. He was way too expensive, so I didn't buy him, but I was glad that my doe ended up having a buckling so that I could raise him up to breed my other does. So he is a really sweet guy, but what matters the most is a few things. You look at the parents, because the parents tell you a lot of things. One, body structure. That breeze tried to take my camera down. Okay, so one, you're going to look at, obviously, what is the purpose? You've already solved those questions. So one you're going to look at is the body structure of the adults, because those are the genetics that are going to go on, the colors, all of that kind of stuff, whatever's interesting to you in that sphere. Then what you're going to do is you're going to check and see, like, does this buck have a nice personality? Is he easy to manage? Because if he's crazy, so are his babies. If your females are crazy, so are your babies. They're very difficult to deal with that way. So with the bucks and the does, I always get, for my females, I get bottle-fed females, ones where people raise them on the bottle, because they're easy to catch, they're easy to milk, they're easy to work with, because they walk right up to you and you can just grab their collar and walk off into the sunset. It's fantastic. I love that. My bucks, though, you don't want to bottle feed a buck, because then they get really pushy with you and they think that you are like in their little world, and they'll get really obnoxious and in your face, and they'll try to create boundaries of like where you fit in their pecking order, all that kind of stuff when you have a bottle fed buck, because they have those tendencies to view you as the herd, and you don't really want to be viewed as a herd with a buck. But it's fine with the does. It's actually just fine to have the does treat you like that, but not for bucks. They're just a pain if they treat you like that. So I made sure I picked a buck that, because I was keeping from this breeding, that he had everything I was interested in. He has really cool coloring. He's huge. He's super sweet, and easy to manage. While the does are in heat in that same pen, I know that those characteristics are going to carry on. And the doe that I bred him with is super sweet and gentle and everything too. She's a little bit smaller, and so I was a little bit like about that. So the buck is a little bit smaller, but I think my buckling now from that breeding, but I think he will, I think he'll bulk up, but I don't think he's going to be huge. I just think he's taking after his mom, and she's a lot more leggy, I guess, like lanky looking, rather as he was very much a tank type structure. So I think that he'll bulk up with time. Oh, hello, Thor. He'll bulk up with time, but right now he's really lanky, which they are anyway. Here, mister, you can be in my video. Which they are anyway. This is Thor. He's our farm cat, huh? Slash house cat. He's our murderer, huh, Thor? He takes care of as many rodents as possible. Okay, so now you've done all of those things. You've taken all those things into consideration, and it's time to breed. You want to the breed of goat you have will make all the difference too of when they come into heat. So some smaller goats come into heat throughout the year. My large goats, they come from the Swiss Alps. They do not come into heat throughout the year. Oh, do you see something? Okay. They are only in the fall. So this is the time, the fall. I usually take mine to be bred between Halloween and Thanksgiving is usually the window I have always shot for. Thanksgiving, if I'm in a colder climate, like I've done that when I've lived in really cold places. Here, because I have my own buck and I'm not worried about it, I've got my own barn, and he was interested in him. I'm like, let's just see if he does the job. So he's gone out really early now, because hopefully he does the job. Hopefully he's a good buck, and it'll just be this nice little, like, woohoo. But now you want to watch for your females. They will be very interested in the buck. The easiest thing to tell is the buck, because he is going to get stinky and gross, and I will take you guys to see the buck that I have out back, so you'll understand where I'm coming from with that. Hey, sweetheart. Hopefully the girls have been bred. It looks like they have been, but we don't know yet because Mr. Franz here is not proven yet. You're really sweet. I have to wash my clothes now because you really stink. I'm glad you can't smell buck through the camera, because goat buck is so stinky. I got some wool on you from fighting with the sheep. Alright, stinky boy. Come here. You're still not gonna let me get a good picture of you? Oh, you made my pants wet? That was weird. They pee, but they pee on themselves, so their faces are all gross and sticky. I'll move that stick out of the way. Kids haul sticks around. And their pee, they'll shoot their pee like way far, so sometimes they'll pee on you. This is just a sign of affection, so I'll take this. This is him just saying, I still love you even though I'm gross right now. But you watch for not getting peed on, because oh my gosh, it's so freaking gross. But they pee on their faces, their beards, their whole body essentially, because apparently the girls really like the smell of stinky bucks. And but Franz is his first year with the girls, so we don't know if he's going to be fertile or not. I'm assuming he's going to be, because he's definitely been interested in the girls and done a good job following them around and getting them bred. But I'm going to put him with them again every month. Oh my gosh, mister. Well, I was going to go someplace, but now it looks like I'm just going to do laundry. I'd rather you had like a cute little face I could show everybody, and then rather than you rubbing up on my jeans, you weirdo. Anyway, so that's kind of the side effects of being friendly, huh? So bucks are just kind of like that. They're just kind of dirty. They're just kind of stinky, but they can be aggressive. So you want to make sure you are careful and that you understand bucks really well. He's a young guy. He'll bulk up with age. Right now he's just kind of small, but that's okay. He's not too small to do the job, and he's a large breed, so he'll be fine. You big old dairy goats. Huh, sweetie. Plus Franz is sometimes a pat goat. I've only taken him a couple times. I haven't taken him since he's been big. But so you watch for signs that the girls are in heat. They start to get kind of gooey and interested in the buck. He gets really gross and nasty, and he just thinks he's like the coolest thing ever, and the girls think so too. And then you put him with the girls, and he should make all sorts of really obnoxiously gross sounds, tongue flapping, all that kind of weird stuff you've seen, I'm sure, online bucks do. He will do, and he'll chase them around, and they should let him breed. And then I like to follow up with a second breeding, at least in the fall. Whether or not it took the first time, it's hard to tell. So I like to just have a second one. I think he probably did the job, because before he wouldn't let me touch his girls like this. He was like, get away from them. And that's when I put them out all together and he bred them. So I think it was just a heat time. Huh, sweetie. But he lets me milk them like normal and everything anyway now, because I've been doing that his whole life. He's been on our farm the whole time. But yep, bucks get gross. So if you want to breed goats and have a buck, you have to be prepared for the nasty. Hey, little girl. That's my sheepies. Be prepared for the nasty, because they will be nasty. Oh, my sheep just broke my fence. That's really frustrating. He broke the fence and is chasing the girl he was penned with. Oh my gosh, the breeding season is where all the chaos lives. Breeding season's where the chaos lives. But you want to make sure, if you're breeding a buck, in my opinion, come here, Franz. in my opinion, what matters the most with the buck is that he's nice and gentle. And you understand what is nice and gentle behavior and what is crazy behavior. I pet all of my male animals on the sides of their neck or under their chin, like here on the shoulders and stuff, because it's not aggressive. If you come with a hand right at their face, they will try to ram it because that is an aggressive move. I also have, like, if he starts getting too cheeky, then I pin him back up so he's not allowed to just be loose, and I've established some boundaries with him for his whole life with us, but because he was born on our farm, so he's got it. But he's also got really gentle genetics, and that makes all the difference. But he also has horns, so you have to be really careful because those horns will blind you. Like, they hurt so bad. Anyway, it's breeding season, everything's chaos on the farm, but that's some stuff on how you handle having a buck on the farm. You also get a lot of holes in your clothes with the horns.